21. Millions refuse to obey the very basic and simple laws of God. Disobedience produces losses. The scriptures warn, if ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Isaiah 1:19-20. You can argue about it. You can rebel against it. You can complain about it. But you cannot read the scriptures without understanding clearly that obedience produces the river of blessing, while disobedience brings famine and desolation. Oh, I know some wealthy people who do not serve God at all. They do not attend church and they do not read the scriptures. So why are they prospering? Good question, and quite easy to answer too. They are probably obeying the basic principles of prosperity established in scripture. Let's look at some of these principles and laws that are established quite clearly in scripture. God said, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Deuteronomy 28:1-2. 1. The principle of work. God only promised to bless the work of your hands. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. Deuteronomy 28:12. It is not an option. It is not merely a good idea to work every day. The Apostle Paul wrote that those who refuse to be productive should be denied food. For even when we were with you, this we command you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. 2 Thessalonians 3:10. Those who refuse to work are called disorderly and busybodies in other people's business. For we hear that there are some which to walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies. 2 Thessalonians 3:11. You must withdraw and withhold any friendship and time of fellowship with those rebellious toward working. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. 2 Thessalonians 3:14. Note that man. In other words, draw attention to that man. Everyone should mark the lazy person. But I lost my good job. I am waiting for one better to come along, one girl complained. The principle of work simply reveals the need to be productive. Joseph was productive. He was not in the perfect place, the prison, when he received his promotion, but he produced and solved problems wherever God placed him. As I told a young man working for me one day, son, you may not enjoy what you are doing here in this ministry right now, but if you don't become productive and complete the instructions I am already giving you, the next season will not be a step up. God will make you run the same lap over and over and over again until you learn this principle. 2. The principle of diligence. Diligence means speedy attention to an assigned task. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Proverbs 10:4. Laziness is one of the many reasons people do not experience financial harvest, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Proverbs 10:5. Diligent people become supervisors and leaders. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule. Proverbs 12:24. The diligent will always have plenty. The soul of the sluggard desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Proverbs 13:4. Those who are diligent become creative and discovering new ways to solve problems. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plentiness. Proverbs 21:5. Leaders pursue the company and presence of diligent workers. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. Proverbs 22:29. The diligent continuously evaluate the results of their efforts. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. Proverbs 27:23. Find the problem closest to you and solve it. Ask others how to bear the burdens they are presently bearing. Listen carefully to things that bring strife to your boss. Solve them. Review your master list of tasks and complete them one by one every single day. Labor for completions instead of allowing a project to run on and on. Pursue correction from the one who signs your paycheck. Accept rebuke with thankfulness instead of retaliation and resentment. Flourish where you are presently working, and the news will travel. 3. The principle of wisdom. When you increase wisdom, you will increase your wealth. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom, riches, and honor are with me. Yea, ye durable riches and righteousness, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Proverbs 8:14-21. You must become good at what you do. Study, attend seminars, and be mentored. Wise men lay up knowledge. Proverbs 10:14. Rich people are usually knowledgeable people. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Proverbs 3:13-16. They may not know everything about everything, but they are skilled and develop in at least one topic of their chosen pursuit. You must find the gifts and skills already planted within you. What you love is a clue to the wisdom you contain. If you love computers, that is a clue that you will have special wisdom in that area. If you have a love for children, you will have a wisdom toward children. When you find what you love, you will find your wisdom. When you find your wisdom, you will be paid to solve problems with it. 4. The principle of waiting. Nobody wants to wait for anything. Sam Walton, the late billionaire once said that he never invested in a company for where it would be within 18 months. He examined carefully to see where the company would arrive within 10 years or longer. Some Japanese businessmen have 100-year goals. A friend of mine once told me that if my father had put $100 a month in a special money market account, I would have been a multimillionaire on my 20th birthday. Then why isn't everyone a millionaire if $100 a month put aside for 20 years could create such wealth? I asked. Nobody wants to wait 20 years to spend their $100, was his reply. What is the proof that people will not wait? When they receive a raise on their job, they immediately make a purchase to obligate that raise. Instead of living within the boundaries of their lower budget and placing the money in a special investment, they make a purchase that produces a pleasure instead of a future. 5. The principle of mentorship. You must be teachable. You must have a mentor. Your mentor must be someone qualified to impart knowledge for your life in the arena of finances. You can have a spiritual mentor who is marvelous in prayer and yet unlearned in finances. You can have someone who wants to teach you their opinions, but who does have any financial success to substantiate and support their teaching. Who are you pursuing? What are the last 3 financial questions you have asked? To whom did you ask these questions? What have you done about their answers? What investment opportunities are you ignoring, pursuing, considering? Recently, I felt impressed to get involved in a small financial opportunity. It would require hardly any time, but I have faith in the head of the company. I shared it with several close to me. I even offered to help make the investment. Some embraced it immediately. Why? They trusted their instincts, my judgment, and the plan presented. Others never even showed up for the second meeting. Yet they will complain in the coming years of their life how their financial life has been stressful, difficult, and almost intolerable. But they totally refused my mentorship regarding their finances. But I've asked everyone to help me learn how to handle my finances, wailed one young lady. What do you want them to teach you? I asked. So I took 2 or 3 hours and carefully walked her through her checkbook. I emphasized the importance of maintaining balance awareness, knowing at all times how much money is in your account. I emphasized to her the importance of keeping a small amount of cash with her at all times. She did neither. If you refuse to follow the first 2 instructions of a mentor, do you qualify for a repeat visit? How many have been to a certified financial planner within the last 3 years? I asked a large audience one day. 3 hands went up. Everyone wants a miracle instead of a mentorship. Quality mentorship is often the biggest miracle you need. Nobody can force you to pursue knowledge. Usually it takes a tragedy to produce a desire for mentorship. 6. The principle of integrity. Integrity is simply doing what you say you will do for someone. Integrity is being what you tell everybody you are. Integrity is truthfulness. If you will give me $40, I will process these 4 pieces of excess baggage through the airlines, said a skycap to me one day when I was at the airport. The excess was going to cost me over $200. He wanted a generous tip to do it. I always tip generously, but God had been dealing with me strongly about integrity, honesty, and doing everything the right way. You see, if nobody on earth is watching, the boss of the universe is always still watching. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. 2 Chronicles 16:9. Why don't we just do the right thing? I countered. Sir, it will cost you over 200. He was exasperated with me. I know, but I would rather pay the excess now and feel my conscience at peace than to simply give you a large tip and save the excess baggage fee. Thousands pad their expense account every week. Some add tips in their expense report that really did not exist or take place. Many will take extra time off for lunch and have someone use the punch-out clock for them. Many employees have taken pencils, pens, legal pads, notebooks, and other supplies home to their children and family. God sees it all. The principle of integrity will stand when every excuse falls apart. Quality is a part of integrity. Show me any person who does poor work, and I'll show you a person without integrity. If you do a sloppy job of painting the house for somebody, put a used part in an automobile engine and charge for a new one, you will eventually lose your business. Customers talk. Truth emerges. Integrity will stand the best of time, criticism, and even mistakes. Those who will lie will still also. You see, lying is simply theft of the truth. Truth is so important. It is the only ingredient that enables us to make quality decisions. So if someone withholds from you important truths, they have stolen from you the only ingredient you can have to make a good decision. If someone lies to you, lock your cabinets, your doors, and keep them away from your life. Even if they are relatives, the laws of God are too important to ignore. Thousands will never walk the path to plenty because they have totally disregarded the integrity and infallibility of the Holy Scriptures and the basic principles of prosperity.